Welcome back to the 21 Boom Guided Meditation Series. This is Coach Feeney. We don't see the world as it is, but as we are. This constant fluxing soundscape is just like your thoughts. So start by sitting, with that being said, start by sitting for a few moments, grounding yourself by paying attention to your posture, and bringing your awareness to the breath and body. When you're ready, you can close your eyes. When you're settled, bring the focus of your attention to hearing, opening to sounds as they arise from near or far, sounds from in front, the sides, behind, above and below. Notice any tendency to label sounds as they come or to judge whether you want them to be here or not. Notice how easily distractions can come and how easily sounds can create a story. If you notice this, as best you can, bring your attention back to sounds themselves and allow them to be just as they are. Imagine hearing these sounds for the very first time, as if each sound you heard were new to you. You may discover a sense of wonder for this ability, which we so often take for granted, to hear so much. See if it is possible to really hear the raw sensations of sounds, their pitch or loudness or rhythm, and the sounds within sounds. Some sounds are easily hidden by other more prominent sounds. See if you can be alive to these too, and notice as well if there is a quieter space between sounds. As you focus in this way on your hearing, be aware of the space out of which the sounds arise. Then at a certain point, let the sounds fade into the background and bring your awareness to your thoughts. These may be thoughts about what you're doing now or what you're going to be doing, or thoughts about the past. They might be worries or anxieties or sad, happy, or neutral thoughts. There's no need to try to control your thoughts in any way. Let the thoughts come and go on their own, just as you did with the sounds. Perhaps when thoughts or images arise in the mind, you might experiment with seeing them as like clouds passing across the sky. Your mind is like the sky, and your thoughts are like the clouds, sometimes large, sometimes small, sometimes dark, sometimes light. But the sky remains. Or you might imagine you are sitting on the bank of a small river or stream, seeing your thoughts as leaves floating past, carried downstream by the way of water. Whatever thoughts there are, see if it's possible to see them as mental events that arise in the mind. Stay around for a while, and then move on. You may be aware of emotions coming up as well. See if it is possible to be open to it all, no matter what it is. Rest in awareness. If your mind keeps getting drawn into the story created by your thinking, remember that it's always possible to come back to the breath and a sense of the body as a whole, sitting and breathing. This is an anchor to stabilize your awareness in the present moment before returning again, if you choose, to focus on the coming and going of thoughts and feelings. For the last few moments of the sitting, focus again on your breathing. remember that wherever you are and whatever your experience, whenever you find your mind scattered and dispersed by the events of your day, the breath is always available to help bring you back into the present moment. It offers you a place to stand from which to view thoughts and feelings coming and going in the mind. And as you learn to see your thoughts as mental events arising and dissolving, you are cultivating underneath them a sense of deep stillness and peace. The thought stream is so powerful that it can pick us up and whisk us away before we're even aware of it. You can imagine yourself sitting on the edge of a stream or small river, watching your thoughts as if they were leaves on the stream floating by. The next moment you find that you left your seat and sleepwalked into the middle of a stream. It's only a little later that you wake up and see that, yet again, you've become immersed in your thought stream. When this happens, as it surely will, you might congratulate yourself for having woken up. Then compassionately acknowledge that your mind is wandering. Gently haul yourself back onto the bank of the stream and start over again. The experienced meditator is not someone whose mind does not wander, but one who gets very used to beginning again. In times of maximum stress and confusion, we learn the most, for it is when we see the most compelling thoughts and as mental events, rather than truly reflecting reality, that we glimpse the possibility of freedom most of all. If some of these practices seem a little repetitive, it's because they are. Meditation is a simple practice that gains its power from repetition. It's only through this that we can become aware of the repeating patterns in our own minds. Ironically, meditative repetition frees us from endlessly repeating our past mistakes in the automatic pilot that drives self-defeating and self-attacking thoughts and actions. Through repetition, we gradually tune into the subtle differences that each moment brings. Think of meditation as planting seeds. You give young seeds the right conditions, but you don't try to dig them up each day to see if they've grown roots. Meditation is like cultivating a garden. Your experience deepens and changes, but this takes place in horticultural time, not clock time. And this is a meditation for when you're in the intensely frustrating line at a supermarket. So when you're in line in a supermarket, see if you can become aware of your reactions when something holds up your progress. Perhaps you join the wrong line. You're obsessing about whether to make a dash for another one that seems shorter. At these times, it is helpful to check in with what's going on in your mind, seeing what mode of mind you are in, taking a moment to ask yourself, what is going through my mind? What sensations are there in my body? What emotional reactions and impulses am I aware of? If you find that you are swept along with needing to get on, frustrated that things are going more slowly than you had expected, then it is likely that you are in automatic doing mode. That's fine. It's not a mistake. The mind is doing its best. Mindfulness accepts that some experiences are unpleasant. Mindfulness will, however, help by allowing you to tease apart the two major flavors of suffering, primary and secondary. Primary suffering is the initial stressor, such as the frustration of being in a long line. You can acknowledge that it is not pleasant, but it's okay not to like it. Secondary suffering is all of the emotional turbulence that follows in its wake, such as anger and frustration, as well as any ensuing thoughts and feelings that often arise in tandem. See if you can see these clearly as well. See if it's possible to allow the frustration to be here without trying to make it go away. Stand tall, breathe, and allow, and be here. This moment, too, is a moment of your life. You may still feel pulses of frustration and impatience while you are in line, but these feelings will be less likely to spiral out of control. You may even become, for yourself and for others around you, an oasis of stillness. The breathing space is not a break or a diversion from reality, but a way of re-engaging with it.